You have to understand that change is not meant to come easy. You cannot expect that the times where you're going to be the best version of yourself, you did what it took for you to be the worst version of yourself. Let that sink in. Does that make sense? How could you think that when you put the least effort, when you didn't try to push yourself, when you didn't try to flex your fullest potential, basically exercising it, when you didn't try to exercise it to the extent of, oh, I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna try even if it hurts so much, if I'm suffering, if I'm going through a tribulation right now, I'm still gonna keep going. When you have not done that and allowed you to be at rock bottom or allowed you to just stay mediocre, you cannot think that when you get to the best, which you will if you're determined, you remain resilient and you do everything that you can in your control. So when you get to that point, reaching your highest potential, your best version, it will take way more than what it was before when you were comfortable and you were just where you were for a long time, or you were at a stagnant place because you didn't want to take that next level up steps. Here's the thing about life. When you want it bad enough, there's a blueprint out there. There's a formula. I could literally do plenty of videos of like, oh yes, wake up early. Oh yes, make sure you journal. Oh yes, imply this and make sure you implement these different types of habits. I will do a habit video for sure, because I feel like those videos have helped me as well, figuring out what habits work best for me as well and where I want to start off. However, that's not my point of this video. My point is that you could hear it multiple times. You can watch different videos. You can get the formula in so many different ways and understand the blueprints. But guess what? And you know this. Until you put in that effort and remain consistent, no matter how many times you hear it, or no matter how much you don't want to believe it, or no matter how much you're not going to stick to it, you'll never have anything really change, and at least not for a long time. So when it comes down to trying these things that you need to do, you have to stick to it. Find something that's going to help you be encouraged. And this is why when you write down your whys, why are you doing this? For instance, if you're writing, I'm doing this because I know there's another version that's waiting to be met. I know that other version of myself is somebody that's so proud. Somebody that I know that never gave up. Somebody that I know that put all their trust and faith in God and knew that he was going to keep his promises, knew that he never left, and knew that he just wanted to prosper me. He just wanted me to get out of my comfort zone. He just wants the best for me. And I did all that I could by his grace, by his will, by his might, by his mercy, all of it. And so I say that to say, sometimes we might find excuses. You have to eliminate what is not helping you. In my habit video, I will tell you, like, of course, the negativity, the things that are hindering you, those sorts of stuff, it's gonna matter, right? Even if it's gonna be physical things that you're doing by yourself, like bad habits. Things such as that, you have to take it out regardless. But I'm saying the thing is that some people act like it's easier said than done with the things that are actually not necessarily coming down to it's easier said than done. They're easy, but they're not done. Don't let that go over your head. It's easy, but you don't do it. It's easy, but it's not done on your end because you don't want to do it. And here's the thing, the more you're doing, the more complicated it could get, or the harder it could get. But it doesn't stop there. You will have harder times, especially when you want something so bad, but it requires a whole lot of you. It requires a whole lot of discipline, those sorts of stuff. And so when that happens, oh yeah, let's talk about it's easier said than done. Let's talk about, oh, it's getting challenging. But let's also talk about how your mindset shifts so much to, oh, I'm so up for the challenge. And no matter how many times you fail, you got to get back up. And this is in the physical sense, mental, and mentally, obviously, but mental health is always going to be so important to me. And no matter how many times I'll say it, like, mental health is just going to be everything. Like, if you don't have your mental together, if you are not mentally stable, you will not get far. If anything, you're going to just struggle because you can't perform. You can't physically act out if your mind is pushing you back. And I'm only saying this to say, like, you could also physically do something and you're mentally not there, but that's also going to last only so long. And also, I care so much about mental health as well, is because mental health in general, everybody suffers in some way. Maybe some suffer more than others, but we also have to understand, like, we all go through things, and sometimes it could be similar, related to others. However, nobody in this world hasn't went through something, right? No matter how much one might go through a bigger thing, or it might even feel like it's bigger, no matter how long someone suffered in some area that they didn't want to. My point is that it's bound to happen. It's going to happen regardless. That's something we can't stop. But you have to see the beauty in it, because when you get out of it, it's like the feeling is so much better. To say to yourself that, like, man, I might not never want to go back to that feeling, right? I might not never want to go back, but I didn't give up. The resilience remained. And this is why putting your faith in God matters so much, with prayer and reading scriptures and all the other stuff that I've already explained in other videos. It's just so important that you're feeding your spirit and not your flesh, because your flesh will catch up to you. Just in other words, when you're feeding your flesh the desires, and you're not basically killing your flesh, and you're not like destroying those bad habits, the pleasure that it wants, the sinful nature that it has, then it will catch up to you. And if y'all don't know, I mean, I'm being literal in a sense, but also it just says in the Bible, like, sin is gonna equal to what? Death. And I say that to say, like, your suffering that you had in a small period of time when you were trying to be better is way better than when you fed your spirit so much you didn't deny your flesh. You didn't at least try to deny it, try to stop your body, those sorts of stuff. Didn't do nothing about it. So what you experience through that, whether it's sooner than later or later, that you're suffering from the flesh, suffering from the not feeding your spirit and being so far off, that's way worse than what you have to go through to get to where you want to really be, where God wants you to be, the will that he has for your life and the promises that he has for your life. So I'm going to wrap this video up to say, it's like, just seriously take it serious. Like, don't take life for granted. Don't think that, oh, I don't have to do this, I'm not going to do it, why do it? Don't live in that. Want more for yourself, love yourself, and be patient with yourself to understand that you're going through a journey. Not only are you going through a journey with him, but you're also developing, you're discovering yourself as he's helping you. And we're living life. Like, we have the blueprint. The Bible, in my opinion, is the blueprint, like, you know, but my point is that, like, we're going through it as we're learning. And maybe we might learn through or go through the same things, the same lessons. However, we didn't stop. We kept going. And so I just really want y'all to let it sink in that you have to understand that you're doing something about it. Not that you're giving in and giving up and caving in and allowing life to just be life. Make it be greater than that. Okay, I hope this video was helpful in some way. If you guys have other questions, concerns, requests, all those sorts of stuff, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to be subscribed with your post notification on. And that's it. Bye, y'all.